Hello and welcome to Tech Cubicle on SAP. I am Daryl Griffiths and this is my weekly 180 where I spend 180 seconds on the latest techie news that impacts the world of SAP. At the end, I'll pick my favourite to review in a little more detail in the cubicle. In my SAP techie news this week, NEC and its implementation partner ABAP Consulting aim to utilise NEC's Gen AI capabilities in combination with SAP Joule and migrate from on-premise S4HANA to S4HANA Cloud in a bid to future-proof the S4HANA system and reduce operational costs. Once on SAP S4HANA Cloud, NEC sees AI playing a role to make upgrades more efficient. The link is in the description down below. An article from IntelligentCIO.com on the SAP options faced by businesses. The article sets out the argument for rethinking support and maintenance of SAP ERP by suggesting that it is possible to hold on to operational freedom and strategic adaptability in the face of SAP's shifting strategic priorities and messaging. This is the third article in as many weeks that we have seen from third-party support providers, and as we approach the HP5 end of maintenance deadline, there's not going to be any let-up. From CIO.com, this article talks about the SAP US user group insights revealing that 48% of ASUG companies say moving to S4HANA is a top area of focus, with 62% aiming to operate in the cloud. Another stat is that 42% of members want to use AI for dashboards and analytics, and only 21% for transitioning from manual to digital processes. The link is down below. On the SAP News Center, how SAP BTP becomes the trusted platform for business AI. An interesting article that sets out some of the future goals of AI on SAP BTP, including items such as SAP Build Process Automation, SAP Integration Suite, and simplifying administration of SAP BTP Cockpit. Be sure to check out the SAP BTP Strategy paper linked right at the bottom of the article. From the Onapsis SAP Patch Day for May blog post, we see a number of high-scoring vulnerabilities that have been publicised, with the most prevalent being a 9.6 and impacting SAP Netweaver ABAP and ABAP platform, so S4HANA. The SAP notes of relevance are on the left-hand side of the table and a link to the article is down below. The SAP support site, SAP For Me, had a 50-minute unplanned outage this week. In past years, these sorts of outages may have prevented access to an SAP note or a license generation or developer keys, but now the support site is critical for operations and in some cases for monitoring and issues resolution. It can be far more than just an annoyance. Personally, I feel SAP should provide a root cause and also an improvement plan after each resolution. This is something that Microsoft do for Azure service outages, and it increases trust and transparency. SAP Netweaver 7.5 Support Package Stack 29 is released. When I look at the support schedule in PAM, I'm still sure this release is delayed slightly. At the time of writing, PAM had not been updated yet, but the support packages say released. Quite a big collection of issues that has built up in this release since August last year. My favourite item this week is the article on SAP BTP. The messaging around this whole article seems to try and set apart SAP's AI technology with AI technology from other vendors by reiterating AI, business and trust. I'm not particularly cooing about the AI-related features that have been written about, although the forthcoming introduction of AI into the SAP BTP cockpit aligns neatly with my upcoming third-part video in my three-part series on what happens to the basis role in RISE. I am interested in the strategy paper right at the very end of the document. If we scan through the strategy paper, we see that SAP shows third-party AI vendors as providing general-purpose AI and not business AI. The first strategic item I can find is this. SAP plans to build an own foundation model that will become a springboard for creating SAP-specific AI use cases. Now, according to IBM, models that are trained on a broad set of unlabeled data that can be used for different tasks with minimal fine-tuning. These are called foundation models. To me, this means that SAP will pre-curate a large model that has been trained on SAP-specific data and processes, which can then be used by a customer to create their own AI model that is domain-specific. A lot of the article is marketing existing capabilities, and Clean Core makes an appearance as usual. We get down to the last section on future. SAP is planning to expand SAP BTP availability into more than 10 new data center regions, including Australia, Brazil, Israel and Saudi Arabia by the end of 2025. In the section Simplified Extensibility, we see Advanced integration with SAP S/4HANA Cloud will also make it easier for customers to create and manage clean core extensions directly from within the application. This is talking about an ability to extend SAP S/4HANA Cloud from inside, using callouts to SAP Build and ABAP environment. I'm going to imagine that a customer could place ABAP code into the SAP BTP ABAP environment and have that code tightly tied to the SAP S/4HANA Cloud system. It's a decoupling of what we already have in the traditional systems, except the BTP ABAP environment is an additional paid-for service in the cloud, but with the statement just before it, going forward, customers and partners will see these solutions converge even more technically and commercially. Now, it would seem that maybe some level of BTP ABAP service may be included in a RISE solution in the future. If this is the case, it would certainly help the clean core, help the migration from ERP to S/4HANA Cloud, and especially Public Cloud Edition, which I would imagine is the most profitable option when compared to SAP S/4HANA Private Cloud Edition. SAP sets out a future with advanced integration between SAP Integration Suite, LeanIX, and Signavio as part of aiding companies in migration to cloud, but also in integrating at the system and business level when already in the cloud. I can see this set of capabilities could, for example, speed up mergers and acquisitions by presenting the current integration state and help to plan the to-be integration state. Further down, we see the statement about Joule eventually being extensible for customers to build their own agents. We also see the same statement as mentioned earlier about AI being embedded into SAP BTP Cockpit. In the last section, we see SAP's vision for partners. With the future of SAP being all about the platform, SAP's vision for partners is to allow them to develop and sell their BTP-based solutions through the SAP store. Obviously, there is a fee for doing this, which is dependent on the type of solution being sold. It doesn't take much imagination to see that SAP certified products like we have today will eventually only be available through the SAP store, further increasing SAP's own revenue. How can we summarize this document? Well, here's my attempt. In the near future, AI will be infused, injected, and integrated into as many SAP BTP services with dual straddling across BTP holistically. Integrating with SAP and non-SAP will become smarter and simpler. Mergers and acquisitions involving SAP technology will be smoother with less unknown risk. Enterprise integration will become easier to model. Administration of BTP will become simpler. Creating your own AI co-pilots will be possible. S/4HANA Cloud Public Edition will get tight, side-by-side ABAP-based extensibility directly in the ABAP environment, which may be included in the RISE subscription at some point. As always, reference links are in the description down below. Drop me a comment, give the video a thumbs up, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.